Hi, and welcome to DrupalBrief. This is an AI-generated summary of another video, podcast, or blog post. If you want to learn more about what's being discussed here, then please go check out the source. This podcast is produced by the team at Drupal Forge. Drupal Forge is the new #1 open-source development and hosting platform. It has all the functionality of the expensive platforms, but at very affordable prices. If you're looking for a new hosting provider, contact us for a demo before you get locked in. Okay, that's it. Make sure to click subscribe, and here we go.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into the weeds, taking a deep dive into issue 690 of the Weekly Drop. That's the newsletter from July 10th, 2025, put together by Bob Kepford. And our mission, well, it's to pull out the key insights, the really important stuff from the snapshot of the Drupal world. Think of it as, your fast track to understanding where Drupal is right now and maybe where it's going. So whether you're deep in Drupal already or just kind of curious about open source, we've got some interesting things to talk about.
Yeah, it's always revealing, isn't it? Looking at how a community talks to itself. And right away, the headlines, they really jump out with this forward-looking perspective.
Oh, definitely. Top of the list, DrupalCon news and updates and the Drupal AI Initiative. It feels like they're really signaling their main focuses.
And if you look a bit closer, that specific headline, DrupalCon North America 2026, evolving for the community. That's telling. It suggests Drupal isn't just, ticking over. It's trying to reshape itself, evolving for the community. That's not passive. It sounds like they're actively responding to how the web is changing, adapting to new needs, new kinds of users, maybe even new competition.
That's a really good way to put it. And speaking of adapting, there's the Drupal AI Initiative right there, too. They mention a June update and things they learned from our June 26 webinar. So clearly not just watching AI happen.
Exactly. And what's interesting is how methodical they seem to be. I mean, for a big project like Drupal, bringing in something potentially disruptive like AI, it's not simple. The fact there's an initiative that they're sharing learnings openly, it suggests they're past tracking concepts. They're looking at real applications, trying to figure out how AI can genuinely help developers and content folks without just adding complexity.
Okay, so practically speaking then, how close do you think we are to seeing AI really change, like the daily work of a Drupal dev or an editor? Is this still mostly strategic talk, or are there actual tools starting to take shape?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? While the high-level strategy is happening, the focus now is probably on integration points. Things like maybe AI helping suggest content or tagging things automatically, maybe even helping with some coding tasks. It's probably less about AI replacing developers and more about augmenting what they do, freeing them up for the harder stuff. We're seeing the foundations being laid, I think. So daily impact might be a bit off, but the groundwork's definitely happening.
Right, that makes sense. Augmentation, not replacement. So, okay, the AI feature is exciting, but what about right now? What are the immediate challenges and solutions we see in the newsletter? Especially looking at the sponsor section and the articles, there's one issue that really stands out for older sites.
Yeah, you definitely see that immediate pressure point with, while others upgrade, you're still on Drupal 7, let's fix. That's pretty direct. Official support for D7 ended back in January, but tons of sites are still on it. The fact that the sponsor, Opizity, is offering a free audit, that kind of shows how common this problem is and, well, the urgency.
It really does hit home. And it's not all bad news if you are on D7, because there's also keep your Drupal 7 site secure with Tag 1 D7ES. D7ES, that's their extended support, right? Offering security updates for core, contrib modules, themes.
What's key there is that Tag 1 D7ES is basically a safe harbor. It's a bridge for those who just can't upgrade right away. Maybe budget, maybe complexity. They're using top Drupal people, security experts, to keep those sites running safely. It gives businesses that essential breathing room, continuity. It's a very practical fix for a real headache.
Very practical. Okay, so beyond security for older sites, the newsletter also gets into how developers are actually building and deploying Drupal now. Some interesting stuff there. We've got these pieces by Colin Schwartz. From DevOps headaches to seamless onboarding, talking about dropping Chocolatey for DDEV, and another one. Want to run Drupal in Kubernetes? Try our new Terraform module. Wow. Plus, DDEV itself pops up again with using FrankenPHP with DDEV. Lots of developer tooling talk.
Yeah, and these articles really target common developer frustrations, like Chocolatey. That's a Windows package manager. If that causes issues, it slows down onboarding new team members, right? DDEV gives you that consistent local setup, solves those DevOps headaches because everyone's using the same tools. Then you have Kubernetes for managing applications at scale in the cloud. and Terraform for managing the infrastructure itself, like writing code to build your servers. Using these tools means more efficient, repeatable ways of working. Better DevOps. It's kind of like building with standard blocks instead of carving everything by hand each time. You get results faster, more reliably. So devs can actually focus on building the site, not fighting the setup.
I like that analogy, the standard blocks. Makes perfect sense. Streamlining. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. From the developer side to the user experience and sort of the bigger platform idea, there's what Noah's Page Builder just quietly solved in Drupal and why it matters from the drop times. And Experience Builder has pushed the boundaries of what Drupal can do. Here's how we can push it further from previous next. And then this question, what is a DXP and does your business really need one from Spec B?
Right. These all point to Drupal moving beyond just being a traditional CMS. Page builders, the experience builder. These are really, really important for empowering the non-developers, the content editors, the marketers. They let people create richer experiences without needing a developer for every little change. And this pushes Drupal towards being more like a DXP, a digital experience platform. A DXP, well, it's like an integrated toolkit for managing the whole customer journey across your website, apps, email, social, everything. It's not just content. It's personalization, maybe e-commerce, analytics, all connected. Whether a business needs one, that also comes down to how complex their interactions with customers are. If you need highly personalized, consistent experiences everywhere, a DXP gives you that central control.
Yeah, that definitely makes you think about your own situation, isn't it? It's more than just a buzzword, it's a strategy. Okay, let's peek under the hood now, what's happening in the core development side of things. What about learning resources? The newsletter covers that too.
Yeah, the core section shows those ongoing refinements that keep Drupal solid, like passing NL as the element's value in render interface.render is deprecated. That points to stricter coding standards. For developers, it means, more reliable code, fewer surprises down the line. Then there's recipe input now accepts environment variables. That's a handy, practical thing for developers. Makes configurations more flexible and secure across different environments, local, staging, production. And making views config updater is now a service that helps with testing and makes the system more modular, easier to maintain. These might seem small, but they add up to a more stable, developer-friendly platform over time.
It's interesting how those small tweaks build a stronger foundation. And for people getting ready for Drupal 11, there are some specific tutorials mentioned. Object-Oriented Form API in Drupal 11 from Drupal Life Hacks, and a couple from joshix.in, Drupal 11 dev environments, DDEV, Lampa, and beyond, and that upgrade from Drupal 10 to Drupal 11, a step-by-step guide.
Yeah, this really shows the community's focus on getting ready for D11. The tutorial on object-oriented programming for forms, that's about adopting modern practices. Writing cleaner, reusable code, essential for the long haul. And the guides on setting up dev environments, DDEV, the classic LAMP ESAC, plus the upgrade steps. They're really trying to smooth the path for everyone. It's like they're laying out the map for the move to Drupal 11.
And it's not just about writing the code, but making sure it works, right? There's a focus on testing, too, like implementing fast end-to-end tests on Drupal with Docker and JSON RPC by Novol. JSON RPC, that's a protocol for remote calls. And advanced features of the automated testing kit part 3 from the drop times.
Oh, absolutely. These testing articles are crucial. Quality assurance is huge. In big projects, finding bugs early saves so much time and money. Fast end-to-end tests, especially using tools like Docker for consistent test environments, they're vital for CI/CD pipelines, making sure new stuff doesn't break old stuff. And talking about advanced features of a testing kit suggests, a pretty mature approach to quality. It points to a culture where testing isn't an afterthought, it's baked in, which is exactly what you want for a stable platform.
Okay, finally, let's take the pulse of the community itself, the releases, podcasts, and jobs sections. This is where you see the ecosystem buzzing beyond just the technical stuff.
For sure. Just look at releases. It's a constant stream. Updates for major modules like Commerce 3.1.0, Devil 5.4.0, Linked 7.0.6, Workflow 2.1.4, and lots more. This steady flow of updates for core things and widely used modules, it's a really strong sign of a healthy, active community. Developers are constantly improving things, fixing issues. It's like a busy workshop.
Yeah, always something happening. And the podcast mentioned Huck and Drupal, hashtag 510 Drupal hooks, drop them, they're hot.
Yeah.
It just shows how people share knowledge and keep the conversation going. It's about connection, too.
Exactly. And then the job section gives you a very real sense of the opportunity here. Listings like full stack Drupal engineer at For All Promos, lead Drupal developer at Third and Grove, DevOps full stack developer at Spry Digital.
Right.
It shows a strong job market. Skills in Drupal, especially mixed with DevOps or full-stack knowledge, are clearly in demand. That means solid career options in this space.
It's really impressive to see that level of activity and demand. And it's a good reminder that the Weekly Drop itself has been doing this for 12 years, a real community fixture. They even mention opportunities to sponsor the newsletter if you want to reach this audience. So wrapping up our deep dive into this issue of the Weekly Drop, issue 690. Wow, we've seen a picture of a really dynamic community, haven't we? The big themes seem to be looking ahead strongly, AI, Drupal 11, but also really solid support for current issues like Drupal 7 security and tools like DDEV making life easier. And yeah, that thriving job market speaks volumes about Drupal's relevance.
Yeah, and if you zoom out, it really highlights that unique energy you get in open source. There's always this tension, isn't there, between keeping things stable and compatible for existing users and pushing forward with new innovations to stay relevant and competitive. This issue really shows Drupal actively working through that balance, not just managing it, but navigating it.
It really does. So for you listening, what stood out? Any surprises in there? And maybe think about how this picture, a community balancing stability with the cutting edge, how that might relate to your own work or interests in the digital space. Definitely something to ponder. Until our next deep dive.
Okay, we're done. To close off this podcast, I just wanted to remind you that this brief was a fully AI-generated summary, and we take no credit for the original content. If you want to learn more, then check out the source. This podcast is produced by the team at Drupal Forge. Drupal Forge is the new #1 open-source development and hosting platform. It has all the functionality of the expensive platforms, but at very affordable prices. If you're looking for a new hosting provider, contact us for a demo before you get locked in. And if you like this podcast, hit subscribe, post a link on social media, and recommend it to 2 friends. That's it. See you next time. Bye for now.